Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, I would like to invite students who will be singing our national anthem, followed by the Peters Township alma mater, to the front of the stage. Joshua Bowman, Brendan Dazen, Jessica Johnson, Kelsey Kern, Rachel Kinney, Mary Catherine Koenig, Jamie Kraus, Alexander Lukatich, Jordan Martonic, Macy McKnight, Rose Miola, Cassandra Myers, Julia Norton, Nicole Palumbo, Joshua Reardon, Shiloh Simonson, Stacy Spencer, and Evan Zachary. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave? As friends united here to sing to Peters Township high, through honor, love, and loyalty, our pride will never die. Memories of the red and white are in our hearts with you. Peters High, our alma mater, ever faithful and always true.
Good evening, and welcome to the 2013 Peters Township High School graduation and commencement ceremony. It is my honor and pleasure to present to you this exceptional group of students who collectively represent not only academic, athletic, and artistic excellence, but also incredible character. Building character is no easy task and is certainly not done alone. There are a number of people who share credit for helping these students become the young men and women you see before you today. I would like to take a moment to acknowledge those people as we bring to close our graduates' years of public education. First, and most importantly, to the parents and families of our students, we thank you for providing the guidance, tutoring, transportation, laughter, and shoulder to cry on. Mom, dad, brothers, sisters, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins, this night is as much for you as it is for our graduates. Tonight, we celebrate you. To our teachers, it is your caring guidance and insistence on excellence that has helped our students achieve their potential. High school teachers, please stand. We thank you for the early morning tutoring, the late afternoon review sessions, and the countless hours working with our students both in and outside of the classroom. Your passion and dedication has inspired us all. Our high school teachers are not alone in contributing to the achievement of today's graduates. From kindergarten through senior year, our students attend more than 2,400 days of school. Over 1,600 of those days are spent with elementary and middle school teachers, some of whom are with us here this evening. Elementary and middle school teachers, please stand. Thank you for planting the seeds for success and establishing a solid foundation for learning, leadership, and character. Often unrecognized are the administrators at the building level and district office whose vision and leadership provide the foundation for excellence in our schools. To these individuals, accolades means less than student success. Their decisions are driven by what is best for kids. Please join me in thanking Dr. D'Imperio, Dr. Kardambikis, Mrs. Kelly, Mr. Lesnet, Ms. Sanders, Dr. Fredo, Mr. Hennigan, Mr. Marquis, Mr. Fisher, and Mr. Galt. Thank you for joining us this evening. The Board of School Directors are before you this evening, and it is because of their work and difficult decision-making that all of this is possible. It takes a special individual to serve voluntarily in this capacity. It is moments of celebration like this one that remind us what is important and allows us to recognize the work that they do. Mrs. Golombieski, Mrs. Cuervo, Mr. Dunleavy, Mrs. Ehrenberg, Mrs. Gregg, Mr. Vistus, Mr. McMurray, Mr. Merrill, and Mrs. Smith, we thank you. Tonight's ceremony would not be possible without the collective efforts of the high school administrative team. Mr. Christian Lesnet and Miss Emily Sanders are assistant principals with me, and your leadership and wisdom this year has been invaluable. You have spent countless hours committed to ensuring the success of all of the graduates here today. Thank you. To the office secretaries, Mrs. Borg, Mrs. Wurst, Mrs. Falbo, Mrs. Dare, Mrs. Spolaris, Mrs. Fetcher, Mrs. Lusk, Ms. Danilo, and Mrs. Pampina. Thank you for your patience and diligence. And finally, there are many people who work behind the scenes to ensure that tonight runs smoothly. Mr. Zippe, Mr. Boni, Mrs. Hodgenfrick, Mr. Bonner, Ms. Sittler, and the custodial maintenance staff, and all of the students who are volunteering their time here tonight. Thank you. At this time, please join me in welcoming our first speaker tonight, Senior Class President, Garrett Warmbine.
Good evening. As Senior Class President, I am honored to introduce the class of 1963 tonight. Please stand as I call your name, and audience, please hold your applause until all of the names have been read. Constance Bergmark, Arlene Calfo Wagner, Judy Holman Hodges, Ed Kuchinik, Carolee Lightholder Hemington, Donald H. Mayers, Wallace Merrill, James Mesta, Phyllis Phillips Pizenza, Conrad Simon, Matthew D. Turchik, James A. Webster, Joseph Webster, Wayne Wicks, and Larry Wisniewski. I'd like to thank you all for proudly representing the rich history of the Peters Township School District. Today, we are honored to reflect on our school's past, to celebrate the legacy that we've received from this distinguished class of 1963, and to celebrate a half-century of history while having the opportunity to celebrate our own accomplishments. From the touch-tone phone introduced in 1963 to our own touch-screen phones, much has changed over the years. To be honest, I'm not sure my classmates and I are even quite sure what touch-tone means. While you may have listened to the chart-topping Beatles album Please, Please, Please back in '63, we danced to Macklemore at our prom last Friday. Today, I find teenage girls with a case of Bieber fever, and their dedication to the man, or boy, is enough to make anybody a believer. My apologies to the class of '63 because the Biebs and the Beatles probably shouldn't even be mentioned in the same speech. And one event that no one can forget in 1963 was the unfortunate end, that was the assassination of John F. Kennedy. The class of 1963, along with our nation, mourned the loss of a president shortly after our graduation. For them, this day will never be forgotten. However, we look to you and your generation as shining examples of living out JFK's legacy of service. You embody Kennedy's wise words. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. That is why we honor you, class of 1963, and remember 50 years of service to our country and our community. Now, class of 2013, we find ourselves in a very similar situation. We're staring our futures in the face and we're ready to move on. We're so close now to graduating, it just seems familiar. So close that you're probably saying, Garrett, we've already been sitting in these fashionable dresses for a while. It might rain and I'm getting kind of hungry. You mind if we just snag our diplomas and make a burrito run to Chipotle? And my answer to that is no. Not yet, because I'm gonna have to make you sit through this. Moe's and Chipotle will always be there down the street, but we will not be here for much longer. The ladies and gentlemen sitting to my left are here today because of the legacy they left behind all those many years ago. They left to pursue their goals, achieve their aspirations, and live their dreams. Yet here they are today, not forgetting the very place where they started that journey, Peters Township. Now that we have the opportunity to reflect on 4 years we aren't soon to forget, I urge you to do the same. Don't forget where you came from. While all of us have our complaints and apprehensions about PT sometimes, never forget how our town has molded us. As PT graduates, we have been afforded blessings like our fantastic education, our loving families, and our lifelong friends. At this point, I'm guessing you might be saying to yourself, Garrett, you straight up sound like mom and dad. And yeah, you're completely right. I sound just like mom and dad. But oddly enough, in some ways, I feel like I could be after all these years. During my life here at PTHS, I've gotten to meet some amazing people and even become friends with a majority of you. We're all so talented, more than we give ourselves credit for. And it has been an honor and a blessing getting to watch us all grow into the promising graduates we will soon become. I could not have asked for a more rewarding high school experience, and I hope one day, if not today, many of you can think the same. In much the same fashion that JFK offered his wisdom, today I ask you to not just remember Peters Township for what it has done for you, but to remember what legacy you now leave behind and what you have done for our community. And as we prepare to leave it all behind, many of us are excited, some of us are nervous, and a few of us are even scared. What I'm going to tell you today is that it's okay to be excited, nervous, or scared. It shows us that we're ready for the next step, that we're not going into our futures blind. Peters Township has prepared us for that next big step in ways we probably don't realize yet. And sure, there will be surprises, and there will be challenges, but that's part of life. And I'm sure that the class of 2013 sitting in front of me here tonight will handle all those challenges without any problem. Because that's one thing we should always admire about our school and always be proud of, our confidence, and our optimism. Through Twitter drama, blackouts by chipmunks per se, and our always successful extracurricular activities, we found and continue to find ways to be confident and optimistic, helping us to push forward. So pushing forward 50 years, what will the seniors of 2013 be able to accomplish? What history will we experience or define? And what legacy will be left for the class of 2063? English novelist Anthony Burgess eloquently puts my advice into words. He said, "It's always good to remember where you come from and celebrate it. To remember where you come from is part of where you're going." So, class of 2013, as tonight marks the beginning of our new, exciting journey, be confident and optimistic, because we all have bright futures, and we will all show the world just what a PT student can do. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming student speaker Maple Chen to the podium.
Good evening, faculty, administrators, families, band, great job, and of course, class of 2013. The number 13 has quite the reputation. For centuries, it has been regarded as unlucky, though there's no clear reason why. However, that hasn't stopped hotels and other tall buildings from mysteriously neglecting to include a 13th floor. Old superstitions die hard, I guess. And class of 2013, I think we know from experience just how unlucky the number 13 can really be. For a start, have any of you ever heard of a little program called Foreign Language Exploratory, or FLEX, where students get to take classes in all 3 languages offered at Peters Township? If you haven't, I'm not surprised. While every other class went through it, the class of 2013 was skipped over. While we're thinking about middle school, remember the days of construction? If I recall correctly, our unlucky class was pushed out of classrooms that were being renovated and forced to fend for ourselves in the hallways, auditorium, and administration building. And of course, who can forget our beloved graduation project? Sure, we aren't the only ones who had to do it, but we were the first, and we had to do it before all the kinks were worked out. Okay, it wasn't really as bad as we thought it was going to be, but since we weren't big fans at the time, I'm going to count it in the list of unlucky things. Looking back at our past misfortunes, it's easy to characterize our class. We are the unlucky ones. But standing here today, looking at all the familiar faces and remembering the good times we had together, I don't feel anything but lucky. Lucky to be part of this friendly, talented, ambitious group of young people, lucky to have known you all, lucky to have suffered through our unlucky circumstances together. Perhaps we've encountered some more road bumps than other classes that have gone through Peters Township School District, but this has only served to make us more resilient. Let's backtrack a little bit. Remember how nervous we all were for the graduation project presentation? Not only were we the first class to go through it, but I'm guessing most of you didn't even write your speech until the night before. I sure didn't. Adults here today, you can probably relate. Everyone has a first big speech. So what if the first speech for most of our grade was required in order to graduate? We've made it through a lot of tough times together, and each time we've grown stronger and closer. You know, our teachers always said we were the nicest class, and I can't help but agree. When I joined the Peters Township class of 2013 in 5th grade, I immediately felt welcome, and now I can't imagine graduating with anyone else. In middle school, I made it a point to memorize everyone's name in the yearbook. Go ahead, you can laugh at me. But now, those names and faces have become classmates, friends, and family. I can't walk more than a few yards down the hallway without stopping to say hello to someone, and I greet all of your achievements with as much enthusiasm as you would. Indeed, the class of 2013 is kind, but we're not just nice. We're smart, we're capable, and we're determined. We're ready to start the next chapter of our lives. Some of us are going to college, Some are going into the armed services, and some are going straight to work. After this year, we will no longer be defined by the number 2013, but we'll associate ourselves with other numbers. The class of 2017, the 50th President of the United States, the #1 dad. But I hope we'll remember 2013 whenever we're faced with unfairness or difficult times. For us, the number 13 shouldn't be unlucky. It should be a reminder of our ability to overcome obstacles. After all, we've survived Snowmageddon, the 2012 apocalypse, and the blackout so far. And while I'm sure we'll see several more doomsday prophecies come and go, we might hit some rough patches here and there. That's life. We haven't made it this far without help from our teachers, parents, coaches, and friends. But you all are the most amazing group of people I've ever had the good fortune to know, and each and every one of you is destined for great things. Plenty of people born on a Friday the 13th have turned out okay, and I don't see why graduating in 2013 should be any different. So, class of 2013, it's time to prove those old superstitions wrong. Break mirrors, walk under ladders, open umbrellas indoors. We've already disproved Unlucky 13 by making it this far. Nothing can hold us back now. Thank you.
Thank you, Maple. Well, class of 2013, in just a few short minutes, you will no longer be Peters Township High School students. You will be Peters Township High School alumni. This is a moment of great celebration. It marks the culmination of over 12 years of rigorous academics, enjoyable activities, competitive sports, close friendships, and many successes, as well as some failures. I have to admit, though, I have mixed emotions today. Like your parents, I am very proud of your accomplishments, and you are a very accomplished class. Just check out the insert in your graduation program. Over $6 million of scholarships sits before you on the field today. And I am excited for you to begin the next phase of your life. But you're an endearing group of young men and women, and I'm a little resistant to let you go. When I sat down to write a message that would impart great wisdom and motivation to you, I found myself thinking about the impact you have had on this school and on the community, and the wisdom you've already gained during your years at PTHS. You have collectively been so impactful on Peters Township High School that you will be difficult to replace. Anytime that I came to you with a need, you responded in a unique and dynamic way. I said to some of you, hey, Stephen Shabosky wants to come here. He is the author and director of The Perks of Being a Wallflower. He wants to talk to our students. Do you think you could put something together? Your response was an amazing parody called The Perks of Being a Peters Kid. It is something Mr. Shabosky will never forget. I certainly know I won't. When we mentioned to your class officers the idea of joining forces with the other leaders in the school, they created the Executive Council to advocate for all students. When I brought groups of students together to discuss school spirit or lack of school spirit, they enthusiastically organized and ran pep rallies, brought back Rowdy Red, and owned the behavior of the student section at every sporting event. Every time I asked anything of you, the answer was always, sure, we can do that. These examples show that you embrace true leadership, and it reveals itself even more in times of crisis. I saw it when you sat in your classrooms for several hours during the infamous blackout. You were calm and reassuring. What could have been a very stressful experience was made better by you, the class of 2013. You set the example, and others followed. And the greatest part is that you didn't even know you were doing it. This is your mark on PT. Garrett earlier spoke about legacy. A legacy is something that is handed down or remains from a previous generation. It has been an often discussed topic among your student leaders. They began the year trying to figure out what legacy the seniors would leave behind. They wanted it to be tangible, something that generations to come could see and know that it came from the class of 2013. Many ideas were kicked around. Maybe an outdoor classroom, maybe a senior lounge, most of which we couldn't do. I think your class officers even considered a full-sized bronze statue of themselves at the front entrance. That may have been Garrett's idea. I think they were joking. But the legacy of your class is your spirit. It is courage, passion, empathy, and optimism. John Quincy Adams said, "If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader." The class of 2013, you have inspired each other and all of us to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more. Your leadership is your legacy. So what kind of advice can I give you? Here it goes. Be open-minded, but stay true to yourself. Advocate for yourself. No one else will be there to do it. It's okay to change your mind. If you find yourself headed down the wrong path, change it. Always remember your roots. And finally, slow down. Savor every moment and small success. To quote Charlie from Perks, or better yet, Christian Nosikoff from Peters, "I know that these will just be stories one day. Right now, we are alive. And in this moment, I swear, we are Indians." Congratulations, class of 2013. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Joseph D'Imperio, Superintendent of Schools, to the podium.
Good evening and welcome to the parents, relatives, friends of the class of 2013 for the Peters Township High School. And I again welcome you on behalf of the Board of School Directors, the administration, and teachers, and all staff members. It is our honor and privilege to have you here with us this evening to celebrate the graduation of the class of 2013 for Peters Township High School. On behalf of all of the staff members, from kindergarten through high school, we want to thank you, the parents, for entrusting us with the important responsibility of educating your children. We feel confident that we have done our best to educate your children to be successful in both their personal and professional lives. There is an old saying, which I mentioned to the seniors who attended the assembly earlier this week. Yes, it is said that good things come to those who wait. But most people don't know the second part of that important statement. Good things come to those who wait if they work while they're waiting. If there is one thing that I want to encourage the class of 2013 to do, is to recognize the importance and even the joy of work. Work hard, enjoy work. Remember, it's only work if you don't like what you are doing. And I am encouraging you to find and enjoy work and do it better than anyone else. I want to share with you a quote from a young person, someone near to your age, graduates of 2013. By the way, I could have selected a famous person like Benjamin Franklin or Thomas Jefferson, but I thought that you, as young men and women of the class of 2013, would enjoy hearing something more from someone closer to your age than mine. So I selected a quote from the daughter of Donald Trump, Ivanka Trump, who said in a recent magazine article, "Love what you do. There will always be someone else who is smarter than you, but there is no substitute for passion. People with passion always work their hardest, and that sets them apart." One outstanding example of the hard work that set the class of 2013 apart was the Lib Dub video that won the high school first prize among national contestants. The video in many ways involved all of the skills that your teachers in Peters Township have worked so hard to impart to you. hard work, creativity, organization, teamwork, having a common goal, and accomplishing it all in a very short period of time. You did that, and you did it in an amazing way. You accomplished all of these things through hard work and had fun doing it. This is the excellent example that reflects the good values that your parents and family have set for you, and that example will serve you all through your lives. It's been such a privilege to work here in Peters Township this year, and again, I commend and congratulate the class of 2013. Thank you.
Please join me in welcoming Mr. David Vistis, School Board member, to deliver remarks on behalf of the School Board.
Thank you. On behalf of the Board of School Directors, I'd like to welcome you to the celebration of the graduation of the class of 2013. I'd also like to thank the class of 1963 for attending the event and congratulate them on their 50th reunion. It's rewarding to see so many of our gifted teachers, staff, and administrators with us tonight as well. And finally, a big welcome to the graduates. It's been a long journey, and you finally reached your destination. Congratulations. Now, there may have been some doubt that you would get here at all, but with the help of your family and friends, you did it. So let's take an opportunity right now. Graduates, stand up, face the crowd, and give them a round of applause. I know they appreciate it because they earned it. As I look back on all the struggles that you've faced, I realize how far this class has come. You now stand at the start of a new chapter of your lives. You've changed, grown, and achieved goals you never thought you could reach. I've been lucky enough to watch many of you, including my son Alex, be accepted at their dream college where the real changes will start, where you can choose your own path. The next 4 years is your time to explore your passions, make mistakes, and figure out what makes you truly happy. Take the opportunity to travel, change your major, maybe more than once. Change your mind, then change it again, because nothing is permanent. As much as I'd like to tell you that you can stick to a plan and be successful, life just doesn't work like that anymore. The career you dream of today may not exist in 10 years. Things change so fast these days that if you blink, you may miss an opportunity. Live your life with urgency, purpose, and conviction. Perhaps Steve Jobs said it best when he said, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your inner voice. Have courage to follow your heart and intuition." As you move forward, either to college, the workforce, the military, or your own path, keep your heart and mind open to new ideas. The day you stop learning is the day you stop living. Take the tools that you've gathered here in Peters, along with the memories and friends, and make your own story. Make it a story that brings joy to your heart and grows with each passing day. You'll need to be ready to change and reinvent yourself, and no matter how hard it gets, no matter what challenges you face, don't give up, don't ever give up. I wish you all the best in the future, and may God bless your journey from here. Thank you.
Please welcome Mrs. Cindy Golombieski, President of Peters Township Board of School Directors, to introduce our honorary teacher speaker.
Thank you, Mrs. Pavlik, and welcome everyone to this fabulous evening, and congratulations. And I know what you're thinking, it's about time, class of 2013. I have the great pleasure to introduce the teacher who was voted upon by the students of the class of 2013 to speak this evening. Mr. Joe Mays has been coaching at Peters. Mr. Joe Mays has been coaching and teaching at Peters Township High School for 35 years. He was the head girls softball coach for 7 years before taking over the baseball program in 1986. This is Mr. Mays' 28th season as the head baseball coach. He is a graduate of Waynesburg Central High School and Slippery Rock University. He was a letterman in baseball at Waynesburg and Slippery Rock. Mr. Mays holds a BS degree in health and physical education from Slippery Rock, and he also has a MS degree in athletic administration from West Virginia University. Mr. Mays was the athletic director for 20 years before returning to the classroom in 2006. He is currently retiring from teaching at Peters Township High School. We wish Mr. Mays the very best. We congratulate Mr. Mays and his wife Kim and his 2 sons Ryan and Aaron, who both graduated from Peters Township High School. Mr. Mays, we could never even guess how many students and parents you have touched over these years, and how many students and probably parents you have instilled with your values and your great character. But one thing I can say for sure, whoever they are and wherever they are, if they should ever hear you have to answer to Mr. Mays, they're running. So it is with great pleasure that I present to you at this podium this evening, Mr. Joe Mays.
Friends and family and friends, the class of 2013, members of the school district staff, Board of Education, graduating class of 1963, and especially to the dear class of 2013. It is an honor to be a small part of this special day of celebration. I'm proud to tell you that this is my 35th graduation that I have attended, and I've had one of the most important jobs at 33 of those 35 graduations, and that is the job of golf cart driver. I've enjoyed transporting grandparents, parents, and family friends to and from the stadium, and at the end of this ceremony, if anybody's looking for a ride, I'll be the guy in the fancy gown and the silly hat. But I came here 35 years ago from Waynesburg after spending my time at Slippery Rock, and it's hard to believe that I've had such great fortune to work with in a great community, especially working with the young people here in Peters Township. I'm proud, extremely proud, to be a part of such a dedicated staff as the one we have in the Peters Township School District. And speaking now as a parent, I want to thank you for your dedication, commitment that you have made to the people, the young people in our community. My wife and I are thankful for the education you provided for my 2 sons, who, as was previously told, are alumni at PTHS, and I'm sure there are many parents here tonight who feel the same way about our staff. I was very fortunate to work in one place, here at Peters. But what has made the difference so special is able to fill so many different roles at different times throughout my career. I started out the middle school teaching physical education. In 1986, came up here and served proudly as the director of athletics. But I also had an opportunity to teach driver education behind the wheel and also in the classroom. 7 years ago, I was faced with a very difficult decision. I was asked to step in as the full-time athletic administrator, and really when it came down to it, it was a very easy decision. I decided I did not want to leave the job I truly love, and that was teaching and coaching. Graduates, I hope you're as fortunate as I have been when you find your job and career, and that is having fun at what you do. I have had fun each and every day I've come into this building, and it's because of you. It has been a privilege to teach the most important class that you took in 4 years of high school, and they know what I'm talking about. When they walked in the first day, and I said, welcome to driver's theory, this is the most important class you're going to take in 4 years, and the very last day, and I'm saying it again, gang, that was the most important class. It was fun to teach a subject, and almost related to when you were in first grade, learning to read and write. I felt that I was teaching 15 and 16-year-old first graders because you had no clue about the task of driving and the responsibilities. And we talked a lot about responsibilities, making good decisions, and knowing the consequences if you make a bad decision. What I was lucky about is that I've taught 12 of the 14 sections. 86% of you passed the Joe Mays School driving, so you should be very, very proud of that. There were times when I thought, they're not paying attention to me, until one day a dad came up to me and said, you know, I was driving down the road and I made an illegal U-turn, and my daughter looked at me and she said, Dad, what would Joe Mays say? And I had another lady at a restaurant. She came up to me after somebody had said Joe Mays, and they said, excuse me, you're Joe Mays? I said, yes. She said, I always wanted to meet you because every time I make a driving mistake, my daughter says, Joe Mays would not approve. So I do think you were all listening to what we talked about in driver's theory. But my advice to you as we move on to the next chapter of life relates to my driver's theory class. If you remember the most important video that I showed you, Goofy's Highway Troubles. And Goofy reminded us that driving is nothing but common sense. I would hope you would take Goofy's words and make that philosophy the same with all the decisions you're going to make each and every day. You're going to be faced with difficult situations and decisions, starting with the graduation parties and moving throughout the summer, then off to school and work. Use common sense. Always ask yourself 2 questions. Is the decision I will make the right thing to do? And will my family, and more importantly, will I be proud of that decision? One other piece of advice, and this has come from my mom and dad, who I'm very proud to tell you that are in attendance tonight because they've always been very supportive of me. Treat others. Always treat other people the same way you expect to be treated by them. Treat others with respect, dignity, and honesty. Now, about you. When I think about the class of 2013, and some of these things have already been mentioned, 4 things come to mind: success, leadership, school spirit, and PT pride. Some examples: the success are plays and productions, the concerts, the clubs representing our school at national and state level. But due to my association with the athletic program, I am just blown away by the success of our athletic teams. Girls soccer, 3 times state champions and voted the #1 team in the nation. Unbelievable. Girls tennis team, back-to-back PIA state champions. Girls tennis doubles team, again, PIA state champions. We had a member of our golf team, 2-time silver medalist. Hockey team, WPIHL, and playing down at Console in the finals. Girls lacrosse, WPIL champion, and 1 win away from going to the state championship game. And our dance team, national champions. The success of these teams, clubs, and individuals is due to the leadership of the people sitting in front of me today. The success of any high school organization starts from the example that the seniors set. In the class of 2013, it will be hard to surpass what you have done for this school and this community. Due to your leadership, we saw the best year that I have witnessed in my 35 years in this school district as far as school spirit and pride. Your support of one another has been unmatched. The themes that you organize when going to athletic events, whiteout night, red and black night, camo night, Caribbean and Hawaiian night. I had fun watching kids have fun. But the one thing that I always remember about this class is the lip dub contest that most of you participated in. And thanks to the dedication of Mr. Bastos and Mrs. Hodgen-Frick and the Video Club, they helped produce one of the most entertaining and enthusiastic productions that I have seen in this school. I think almost every club, activity, and athletic team in the school was involved, and with Mrs. Pavlik's support, in the regional contest, they were rewarded first place finish with an award of $5,000. Congratulations to everyone involved, and thank you for your leadership, seniors. Finally, seniors, and very soon, alumni of Peters Township High School, enjoy the next couple months of graduation celebrations. But remember, use common sense, make smart, responsible decisions. Good luck with whatever you do in the immediate long-term future. And since I'm graduating from the Peters Township High School, I'm hoping that you will accept me as an honorary member of the class of 2013. God bless you. Thank you very much.
It's time, seniors. We will now present the diplomas to the class of 2013. First row of seniors, please rise and proceed to the stage.
Ellie McClellan Earhart.
John A. Augustinella, Jr. She can come over.
Alexis Medora Alavey.
Aaron Nathaniel Ailes.
Megan Therese Emilio.
Matthew Christopher Albolino.
Natalie Eve Andreski.
Matthew J. Altman.
Lauren Marie Arcuri.
Nicholas Vicente Arribas.
Alexis Aronson.
Matthew Gilmore Oren.
Audra Lee Baster.
Sean Paul Baxendell.
Lauren Gail Belak.
Adam Russell Becker.
Hannah Lee Berendino.
Jeffrey John Bergman.
Ashley Taylor Bertossi.
Jeffrey Ryan Berry.
Sarah Nicole Bootman.
Thomas Patrick Bertrand II.
Taryn Charlene Haber Borden.
Garrett Michael Bigley.
Jessica Lynn Bove.
Jacob Alexander Blandino.
Sarah Lee Bowler.
Zachary T. Blasco.
Morgan Elizabeth Boyer.
Cale Bowman.
Grace Eileen Brandstetter.
Joshua Samuel Bowman.
Bethany Elizabeth Brenneman.
Eric Parker Briggs.
Carla Jean Bizzato.
Joseph William Brooker.
Christina Marie Carbonera.
Anthony James Bucci.
Caitlin Rose Carey.
Christopher Richard Bizard.
Hannah Taylor Carpenter.
Jacob R. Caputo.
Madison Catherine Queso.
Daniel Michael Como Jr.
Kimberly Andrea Cheggy.
Julian Robert Shalafu.
Maple Chen.
Austin Tyler Chappell.
Lindsay Ashland Chiesa.
Joshua David Cherry.
Lauren Nicole Sisney.
Gregory Peter Chisty.
Emily Ann Cocco.
Robert Andrew Clements.
Jennifer Marie Coffey.
Matthew James Cowler.
Alexandria Drake Conti.
Connor Jeffrey Crane.
Emily Sarah Corrigan.
Kevin Paul Crawford.
Angela Nicole Kramer.
Connor Matthew Daly.
Rachel Caroline Crane.
Brendan Paul Dazen.
Morgan Lee Crehan.
Alexander William DeBolt.
Abby Taylor Cunningham.
Brett Andrew DiCello.
Lauren Marie Denazy.
Kenneth Earl Dodson.
Dallas Nicole Davidson.
Landon Edward Donofrio.
Carly Nicole Davis.
Mitchell W. Etchman.
Lindsay Elizabeth Dawson.
Clayton Mark Edwards.
Megan Lynn D.
Stephen William Elliott.
Haley Ann Delaney.
Patrick John Ellsworth.
Rochelle Elizabeth Francois Dietz.
Mark Richard Ensko.
Isabella Elaine Dignazio.
Devin Samuel Ivanovich.
Gina Marie DePaulo.
Justin Stephen Feda.
Jessica Rose Dowd.
Joseph Clayton Fairbanks III.
Marianne Ekman.
John Russell Fazio.
Alexa Durand Ekberg.
Matthew David Fick.
Christina Marie Ellis.
Jake Edward Floyd.
Madeline Estep.
Danny Gow.
Mallory Grace Finch.
David Patrick Galani.
Rebecca Ann Fiskus.
Matthew Alexander Gerard.
Jessica Jean Fort.
Jacob Richard Golias.
Shannon May Frizzell.
Joseph Joel Granling V.
Christine Aaron Gobb.
Joseph Theodori Growal.
Casey Lynn Gallagher.
Evan James Gutschall.
Julia Catherine Gauthier.
Brian Christopher Hall.
Elizabeth Ann Gesselberty.
Scott Patrick Hanlon.
Rachel Leah Galler.
Neil William Harrison.
Kirsten Lee Gregorick.
Connor Stewart Heberly.
Julianne Nicole Griffith.
Joshua Timothy Helsauer.
Bailey Nicole Grimm.
Jeffrey Daniel Higgins.
Hannah Marie Gross.
Kyle Daniel Higgins.
Alana Marie Gubala.
Jacob Glenn Hoover.
Alexandra Lee Haberman.
Joshua Matthew Howard.
McKenna Lee Hammer.
Alexander David Vistas.
Mackenzie Mitchell Hammond.
John V. Ivashenko.
Paige Julia Hanna.
David Allen Japp Jr.
Alexandra Nicole Harmon.
Mahir Jadhav.
Shannon Nicole Helbig.
Craig Conway Johnson.
Kelly Nicole Henry.
Ryan Patrick Jones.
Mandy Renee Ho.
Corey Nicholas Kem.
Carla Rose Hogue.
Christian Martin Kelly.
Olivia Ann Hoover.
Joseph Michael Kelly.
Mara Ann Howard.
Robert D. Kemp III.
Casey Alexandra Hughes.
Colton James Kerner.
Nicole Elizabeth Hume.
Scott Edward Kettlar.
Hannah Nicole Jacobs.
Zachary Nathaniel Kirsch.
Sierra Marie Jasek.
Thomas Jacob Kirschler.
Jessica Lynn Johnson.
Matthew Robert Kamonk.
Kelly Ann Johnson.
Cole Patrick Kochman.
Jessica Taylor Joseph.
Ryan Alexander Krupa.
Erin Patricia Kaminsky.
Joshua Thomas Larimer.
Marlena Louise Caravalis.
Kevin Anthony Lawrence.
Bethany Paige Kelly.
Jae Sung Lee.
Alexa J. Kennedy.
Tyler Chase Leach.
Kelsey Elizabeth Kern.
Eric Scott Lewis.
Elise Catherine Kilberg.
Garrett Robert Lindner.
Rachel Marie Kinney.
Gregory S. Lippert, Jr.
Erica Marie Knapp.
Brandon Lowe.
Emily V. Koch.
Matthew Avery Lother.
Mary Catherine Koenig.
Alexander John Lugatich.
Vida Joan Comer.
Stephen R. Luzier. Luzier.
Caitlin Violet Caracas.
Joseph Leo Lyle.
Georgia Marie Caracas.
Ross William Lynham.
Emily Elizabeth Koza.
Richard Michael McKay.
Catherine Rose Krajovic.
Justin Robert Magnotti.
Jamie K. Kraus.
Andrew James Magian.
Gavrielle Jenna Kroner.
Michael James Magyar.
Sarah Marie Cronkett.
Joseph Nicholas Mikett. Did I do it?
Emily Jean Kulka.
Matthew David Mamross.
Bryn Michelle Lantry.
Bradley Michael Marks.
Nicole Ann LaRosa.
Alexander Thomas Marnick.
Abigail Jane Lavinia.
Chase Conrad Mazel.
Caitlin Elizabeth Thomas Leonard.
Cameron James Maxwell.
Madeline Rose Lepore.
D. Logan McBride.
Dasha Gabrielle Levasseur.
Chase Patrick McIntyre.
Nina Marie Levin.
William Aaron McLucky.
Elena Marie Lomas.
Jacob Matthew McPeak.
Gail Marlene Luster.
Michael John Minjock.
Madeline Marie Maggs.
Mackenzie Thomas Mitchell.
Melanie Joy Majiski.
Andrew Colin Moore.
Amanda Marie Magnotti.
Evan Scott Moran.
Mara Elizabeth Macher.
Matthew Ryan Mullen.
Hannah Mae Martin.
Ryan Edward Mundy.
Rebecca Louise Martin.
Ruben Neri.
Jordan Lee Martonic.
Thomas Edward Nettles.
Malia Ray Mastrangelo.
Jesse Aaron Nobers.
Lydia Kelly McCall.
Dakota Johncher Norton.
Amanda Marie McKay.
Christian Leonard Nosikoff.
Andrea Rose McDade.
Cody James Ondos.
Macy Alexandra McKnight.
Matthew Kasopoulos Perryman.
Christina Suzanne McNeil.
Christian Michael Petroza.
Madison Lynn Mealy.
Marco Ross Peretti.
Rose Mary Miola.
Michael Angelo Piscatano.
Cassandra Dawn Myers.
Daniel Richard Pletz.
Alexandra Nicole Miller.
Gabriel C. Pritz.
Alexis Nicole Miller.
Nathaniel Charles Puckett.
Samantha Rose Moore.
Justin Lee Puente.
Victoria Charlene Morgan.
Eric Robert Puel.
Melanie Marie Morgret.
Cody F. Piles.
Nicole Marie Nolte.
Joshua M. Reardon.
Josephine Nanette Nitchman.
Trevor Joseph Rechtenwald.
Raylyn Ann Noonan.
Troy Anthony Rickard.
Julia Marie Norton.
Miles Paul Royer.
Maggie McKinnon O'Hare.
Noé Roberto Ruiz.
Bobby Marie Okonski.
Zachary Michael Ryan.
Nicole Marie Palumbo.
Matthew Allen Sable.
Shannon Parrish.
Joseph Stephen Sala.
Emily Catherine Peterson.
Jeffrey Martin Santry.
Lindsay Elizabeth Politz.
Drew Schaefer.
Megan Elizabeth Pohl.
Zachary Lewis Shiwer.
Krista Ellen Powell.
Christian Peter Schratz.
Laura Rose Perky.
Daniel Wayne Shirley.
Christy Lee Reesmeyer.
Stephen Robert Sepich.
Olivia Rose Robertson.
Benjamin T. Satimio.
Melanie Jean Roberts.
John Arthur Smith.
Abigail Grace Ross.
Sean Troy Sullivan.
Haley Marie Schaefer.
James Leon Taylor.
Kaylin Elise Schmidt.
Mario Nicholas Toscano.
Jordan Renee Schuler.
Nicholas Alexander Tost.
Savannah Kathleen Schweizer.
Bradley John Thailander.
Kelly Marie Schworn.
Devin William Ulam.
Cassandra Ann Secunda.
Ronald Jordan Villani.
Sylvia Ann Surali.
Nicholas Patrick Vucic.
Harmony Gift Shepherdson.
Jeremy Tyler Wagner.
Amanda Marie Sherwin.
Kyle Avery Wagner.
Alexandra Chase Simon.
Chen Wan.
Shiloh Amber Simonson.
Garrett Matthew Warmbine.
Sarah Elizabeth Smart.
Timothy Clark Warren II.
Chloe Brenna Smith.
John Christopher Waschek.
Stacy Marie Spencer.
Kevin Anthony Weber.
Lindsay Alessia Spinabelli.
Daniel Joseph Wigman.
Hannah Teresa Squiglia.
Cameron Stone Winterhalter.
Lauren Eileen Tassone.
Robert Nathaniel Witkowski.
Lauren Nicole Thomas.
Michael Patrick Waltz.
Jessica Ann Thompson.
Sean Yang.
Alyssa Michelle Townsend.
Emil Yunez.
Rachel Marie Trasinski.
Evan Carter Zachary.
Tiffany Nicole Trunk.
Abbott E. Zook.
Taylor Marie Trippus. Alexandra Lauren Euler. Shreya Umredker. Stephanie Noel Vierheller. Ashley Marie Westhoven. Carly Jean Wickstrom. Hannah Trace Wilcox. Madison Kate Williams. Morgan Elizabeth Wilson. Nicole Anna Mae Woloski. Erica Lynn Wright. Morgan Marie Wyatt. Sarah Elizabeth Yost. Anna Catherine Zirkel.
Now, with the authority vested in me by the Secretary of Education for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I pronounce the class of 2013 for the Peters Township High School graduated.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming and have a safe ride home.